YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about cancellation policy. We are also filming in a different location. It's not the same background. You are seeing me in my dining room because it snowed like 1.5 feet yesterday and still appears to be snowing. Anyway, lots of freezing rain, all that good stuff. Welcome to Canada. So, nobody's going anywhere today and I didn't have any appointments booked anyway, so I'm here at home. So I've done my little bit of research. Actually, I've done quite a bit of research on this. This is a question that everybody seems to always have. Cancellation policy, how do I enforce it? Well, how do I write it? What do I say in it? How true do I stick to it? All of those things. If my dog barks, because I feel like she's about to, I'm very sorry about that. Here she comes. She wants to know who I'm talking to. Okay, so I have a few, I don't want to call them rules because they're not really rules, but I have a few pointers and then we're going to talk about a few things. So number one, your cancellation policy needs to be crystal clear. Crystal clear. There needs to be no ums or maybes in it. It needs to be crystal clear because there is going to be that person that is going to want to change it around a little bit. They're going to want to say, well, it says here that. It needs to be crystal clear so that there's no question when you go to enforce it. It's easy to enforce because it's black and white. Second thing you need to think about is that it needs to be short and it needs to be easy to read. So write it all out on a piece of paper or in your notes or however you do that. Write it all out, then take away all unnecessary words. Too many words are just going to confuse people. They're going to make things so that they aren't crystal clear. So that it needs to be short and it needs to be easy to read. The third thing that we need to talk about is you need to stand firm on your cancellation policy. And when you do make a decision with a client, you need to make a decision, leave it there. Don't lose sleep about it. Don't be up half the night wondering if you should have handled it differently. You have a cancellation policy, it's in writing, you've enforced it with that client, carry on. If it means you lose that client, maybe they weren't a quality client. You want good quality clients that are respectful of your time and of your salon's time. And I know that there are exceptions to every single rule and we will get to that, but you want people that respect your time. So you need to make your decision and then stick with it. Walk away from it, forget about it, don't forget about it, but walk away from it. Don't worry about it. So the number 4 thing that you need to think about when you are writing your cancellation policy and when you're enforcing it is you need to trust your gut and use your discretion. So for example, I had a client just this week that no-showed me. She has been with me, I couldn't tell you how long, years. And it worried me when she no-showed because she never does that. Am I going to charge her? Absolutely not. No way am I going to charge her. I had an hour break. I did a few things online. It doesn't matter. Anyway, no, that is my trust your gut. That is my use your discretion. The trust your gut is, you know, if you have somebody that's going to be a brand new client and they've kind of given you a runaround during booking it, maybe online or through text message or even over the phone, whatever. They've kind of given you the runaround a little bit with booking it and then they no-show. Trust your gut. If you know that you shouldn't bring them back in again to do the same thing all over again, then don't. That is not something you need to do. No, you don't need that client. They can go to maybe a nail bar where they can walk in or hair or whatever it is that you do in your line of work. I feel like I need to address this. So I have this hand, which you can see on my Instagram if you follow me on my Liquid Chrome Nails Instagram, and I have this hand. It doesn't need to focus. We don't need to talk about that. Okay, so let's talk about cancellation policies that are used a lot or wording that is used a lot. I wanted to kind of put this all in one place because it seems like online there's a lot of questions about it and I felt like if I could do a video about it and then maybe if you could you know, watch it a couple of times and sit down with your pen and paper or your notes on your phone and be able to create your own and be satisfied with it, then that would be great. So a cancellation policy that seems to be popular is $25 charge if there's less than 24 hours given for cancellation, and then full fee to be paid prior to booking if it's a no-show. That seems to be your general price. And I suppose it would depend on your service price. If you're doing a fill, depending on where you are, or maybe we're even talking about eyebrow waxing, maybe you're a full esthetician, something like that. If we're talking about a $25 service, then it's not going to be a $25 charge, but you can use your own math here. But $25 fee or $20 fee if less than 24-hour notice is given, and then the full fee to be paid in full prior to rebooking if you no-show. Some people don't book at all after they no-show, but that is up to you. So some actually only ask for a deposit of 50% to be used against their service in order to rebook. That would probably be the way I would go. If somebody brand new no-shows me, I just never book them again. That is you're wasting my time. You've already wasted my time. Chances are I'm never going to see the rebooking fee from you, so I don't even charge it because they don't even mention it. Again, but that's where your discretion comes in. If somebody calls you 2 days after their, first time no-show and says someone passed, something really big happened, use your discretion. If you want to book them again, that's entirely fine. But if somebody just up and no-shows and they're booking with you for the first time, no. Same as dropped conversations. New client conversation, you're trying to book an appointment, you're volleying back and forth. I understand people's lives are busy, of course. You get to the point where you say, okay, well, if 12 o'clock doesn't work that day, what about 1:30? And they don't get back to you, don't book them in your book. You haven't finished that conversation. Then you're gonna be mad because that's in your book and it's like a no-show day of. Nope, don't even put it in there. Unless you have solidified that appointment with that person and say, finish off with, okay, I'll see you January 1st or obviously not January 3rd at 4:30, then don't even put that in your book, because that is going to be a no-show, and then you're going to be disappointed and you're going to be out the money. So in your cancellation policy, if you choose to, don't forget to put your late policy in. So if you have a late policy, maybe you book every hour on the hour. Maybe you book 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and 1 in the evening. Maybe you have lots of wiggle room, maybe you don't. So that is going to depend on things. I book quite tightly. I know who I need an hour and a half for. I know who I need an hour for. So if someone is 15 minutes late and you consider it a no-show and you're going to charge them and rebook them, that is totally acceptable. That is something that a lot of salons do. But you need to put that in your cancellation policy somewhere so that people are aware, so that there is no surprise. When the moment comes, they're like, what? You're charging me, but I'm here. It's just easier if you throw that in your policy. It's a one-liner, and you can put in there that you can use your own discretion on that too, to be determined by my discretion. If you want to tell your clients no visitors or with them, like no company with them or no children with them, your cancellation policy or your rules and regulations is the place to put that. So that is the time to say, please make arrangements for childcare. Some people do add, there's a lot of expensive things in the salon, ways they can get hurt, blah, blah, blah. I don't feel you need to do that. Again, go simple. No unnecessary words. Put it in there, point form, boom, boom, boom. It's very clear. Another thing that you can put it within your cancellation policy, if you feel the need to, is no refunds on services. I've never had this in my cancellation policy. I've never run into it. It's never been a problem where I am, but I know in some locations it is. So that might be something that you want to address within your cancellation policy, is no refunds on services. So this is also where you set your policies on payment. Some people want, if an e-transfer is being sent, that needs to be accepted before the appointment begins. This is a really good place to put that, so that people aren't surprised or what have you. I know some salons do have the rule of, if the e-transfer isn't sent and accepted by the time the appointment time is supposed to begin, then it's a cancellation or a no-show, and you're charged a fee and you go away and you're rebooked. So that's something that you're going to want to put in your cancellation policy as well. So another thing that you can have within your policy perhaps is a little blurb on your ability to stop rebooking someone that rebooks all the time. Again, discretion. I don't know if that even needs to be in your cancellation policy. That's something that you can kind of do on your own. Although you may need to write it in there. If you're not crazy busy, then there's really no reason why you can't move people around if they're giving you the 24 hours notice. Again, it's situational on some of that stuff. Some people work shift work. Some people are just bad clients. Some people are just irresponsible with their appointments. So you can use your discretion that way. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and hit the little bell because you never know when I'm going to upload. If you have any questions, comment below or show me your cancellation policy below. I'm sure the other viewers would love to see it. One more thing I did was, if you Google salon cancellation policy and then hit images, seriously, you come up with a ton of them. I don't see any reason why you can't mash some of these together and make your own. The biggest thing about your cancellation policy is stick with it. Stick with it. Teach people to respect your time. This is how you make your money. This is how you pay your bills. And I'm sorry, I forgot, doesn't pay your electric bill, doesn't pay your gas bill. Haters don't pay your bills, honey. Haters do not pay your bills. So do your cancellation policy up, put it at the beginning of your page. You can even put a little blurb where you send it to first-time clients when they book with you, when they're speaking with you for the first time, when you do go to kind of send that last response like, okay, you know, thanks for booking, Amanda. I will see you January 10th at 4 p.m. I do have a cancellation policy or salon rules or salon policies, however you want to say that. If you wouldn't mind taking a quick look at them, you can copy and paste them. You can pin it to the top of your page. There's so many different things you can do here. So anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you are able to get the cancellation policy in place that you are comfortable with, and I really hope you are able to stick to it. So, signing off, have a great week.